Hi everyone, I'm Nimrata.
And I'm Chris.
And we're NJ Properties, and welcome back.
To more than just real estate.
He's finally got it down. Okay, so because we did not get an overwhelming number of requests for things we should cover, I figured we should deep dive into the basics of real estate. So basically, if I wanted to explain different aspects of real estate to, say, my 13-year-old niece, how would I go about that? And I only say that because I recently had an encounter with someone that didn't know the difference between a condominium and an apartment, and then what an HOA is. And I know we use a lot of acronyms, so it's confusing to people. So
what's the difference?
Well, let's talk about it.
Between a condominium and an apartment.
Okay, so let's start with just the basics of residential real estate. So in residential real estate, we have single-family homes, condominiums, townhomes, manufactured homes, and those are just single-family homes. So
Dados, tiny homes, a teepee.
Okay. Anyway, so a single family home, I think for the most part, everyone can know, like, this is what the American dream is built on, right? When everyone says they want a home, they're thinking of a freestanding home. You're not sharing walls with anyone. Typically, you have some kind of yard in the front or the back. It's a single family home.
Not true.
Okay, well, how would you explain it then?
You own it.
You own the other things
because
too.
Because a townhome, it depends. They can be attached, which you share a wall.
Yeah.
And that's an apartment is the same thing. You share a wall, so doesn't stand on its own necessarily. Condominium in a high rise.
Right, but I'm talking about a single family residence, an actual home. That's
so
what people
house.
think of. Yes, when they're talking about a house.
Silly people.
Now you compare the condominiums and the apartments, right? So an apartment is typically rented, but it's a building that you share walls or floors, ceilings with people, right? Like that's your typical thing. Or if you're living in downtown, you've got your high-rise apartment living. On the flip side, condominiums are similar. You're sharing walls, you're sharing ceilings, you're in a high-rise. Although with a condominium, you own walls in, right? And then the exterior is the responsibility for the homeowner association. So that's what HOA means. It's basically a group of people that got together. They have a president, treasury, secretary. They help to run and manage these different condominium complexes, and they can be
houses.
Yeah, or that, yes. Like my neighborhood has an HOA, not my name. But I am one that is a proponent for like I would say like medium density type of HOA, like where
she wants everyone's house to look the same.
That's not true. I don't want everyone's house to look the same, but I don't want my neighbor Carl, for example, to have 17 cars that don't run, like in the front yard, backyard, parked up and down the street. Like, I'm sorry, but that's my own personal opinion, and that's okay. There are many people that don't want to live in an HOA, and that's all right. But those are in place typically to help run the neighborhood and be in charge of things such as the roads, snow removal, if there's a park, if there's trails nearby, if you, for example, when you live in a condominium, if you've got like a fitness center, pools, all of that good stuff, they are in charge of making sure they have the money to continue to keep taking care of these things. And when you're in a condominium complex, it can go as far as covering, he should know this, because
utilities, water, power, sewer, garbage, if you're lucky.
Yeah, in fact, he has a condo in downtown, and what's special about that? Go ahead and tell the people.
Which part? It's all covered.
Yeah, the fact that you have no utility bills.
Have no utility bills. We also have, I don't know what it's called, air rights, something like that are going to be very valuable one day when we sell them to a developer. So that'll be cool, because all the homeowners will share in that. But yes, if you can find them that cover all your utilities, super cool. Usually that's not the case. They only cover one or two things.
And typically, I would say utilities can run like $400 to $800 between water, sewer, garbage a month. So And HOAs in a condominium complex typically average about 400, and high rises they change based on the size of the units and the different amenities that you have. For example, if you
$1,000.
exactly, we've seen some as high as 1,000 and as low as like 400, but that depends on the age, the size of your unit, and all the different amenities you have.
Gym, views, decks.
We've looked at some superb properties downtown, and like, it is a dream for me to have a 24-hour concierge. Although I will not ever live in like a high rise, but how nice would that be to have someone that gets your packages, signs for your DoorDash, you can call them if you're having a problem, like, what?
I had that.
Good for you.
Mike at the Commodore.
What's up?
And then lastly, we have townhomes. And in my mind, townhomes are typically like 2 levels. They are still, you usually share a wall with someone, but it's multi-levels, typically 3. And it's, you know, you've got your garage, landing space, and then you've got your main living space, and then you've got like your bedrooms and everything all the way upstairs. And again, this is one of those which will typically have a homeowners association, and then you've got like,
freestanding too.
yes, they've started doing a lot of those recently.
It just depends on the developer and the density they're trying to get into that area, so they'll,
Depends on the zoning, yeah.
so they'll, like we have those ones in Gig Harbor, those are freestanding homes, but you own the pad and you're responsible for the upkeep of the house, but once you basically step outside, that's all common area elements.
Right,
So
and
it's various, you know, depending.
exactly. And so when we say common area, that just means that there are governing rules called the CCNRs that tell you what you can and cannot do with certain spaces. Like some units won't allow for you to park in your driveway, like some complexes. You can't just go and put like a giant jungle gym in your backyard without approval, or like in a neighborhood
Paint your
you may
color
be
your
you
house.
may not be able to paint your house just any random color because they want to keep a little bit of, what's the word, like cohesiveness going on in the neighborhood.
They'll have specific colors, and 2 houses next to each other can't have the same color, so.
There's lots of rules, so if you're buying a house in an HOA or something like that, make sure you read those rules.
Yes, for sure. And we always will look at, you know, there's an HOA review period during the home buying process, and we are looking through those documents. You should be looking through those
Pro tip,
documents.
They're super long, so throw it in the chat and have it read and answer your questions. It's very, very helpful.
Right, exactly. I mean, what else can we tell people that is, like, I guess everyday knowledge to us, but maybe the regular consumer doesn't know? For real estate, getting into buying a home, single family home. I would say right now, with where the market stands, we're seeing a lot of first time home buyers purchasing condos and townhomes because they are typically more affordable. And then if you have the means in a few years to be able to upgrade into like a single family house, those are great rentals. For example, that's what my parents did. You know, they've got a regular home and then they bought an investment property, and they're going to hopefully rent it to someone with a housing voucher. So that's been its own fun little adventure, kind of figuring all of that out.
What about down payments, things like that? The money you're going to need
Yeah.
to purchase a new home.
Okay, I love talking about this. So while Chris and I are not directly involved in that process of like your finances, we really try to be hands off on that. We work with a great group of lenders that we always recommend, and our biggest thing is like getting pre-approved before going out to see a home. And the reason for that is we never want to take you out because we don't know what you can afford, and we never want you to fall in love with something that you maybe cannot afford. So pre-approvals are super important. That requires, you know, taxes, recent pay stubs, bank account information, all that good stuff. They'll go through and they qualify you based on your debt to income ratio. So they look at all the numbers, and it's a certain percentage where they feel comfortable where you can spend, for example, 40% of what you make in a month. And they're looking at everything: credit card debt, any other house debt, car debts, like anything that you're physically responsible for now that you will be responsible for when you buy your home. And on top of that, more. Certain lenders will even look for you to have reserves in your bank account worth, 3 to 6 months worth of payments, because they want to make sure that you're not going to default on your loan right out of the gate. They don't want that. No one wants that. So there's 2 different ways to go about this. So there is a conventional loan. This is for typically higher credit scores, and the minimum down payment on that is 5%.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it was 3.
No.
No.
FHA is a government-backed secured loan. This is typically what first-time home buyers use.
3.5.
And their minimum is 3.5%. So let's just do some simple math. For a $500,000 house, what is the average down payment they'll need to be bringing, Chris?
I don't know. I'm not a math person.
You don't know what 3.5% of 500,000 is?
No. I'm not even gonna think about it.
It's $17,500.
That's not very much for buying a house.
And then if you were going the conventional route, that's going to be about $25,000. On top of that, you will also need to have funds for your earnest money, but this is monies that will get applied to your closing costs at the end of the day. But it's a good faith estimate that you are giving to the seller to say, here's some money for me to put my skin in the game to ensure that I'm going to get this across the finish line.
And what is that typically?
Typically, it's 1%. So in this case, in our scenario, it's about $5,000. That will get applied to all the monies you have to bring to the transaction anyways. And you can typically get that back if during the inspection or the financing phase you decide this home is not for you. Then you also have to allot for your inspection costs. How much do those typically cost?
I would say probably between $500 and $800 I've seen.
Yep. And that is an out-of-pocket expense for you, and that is one of the contingencies you'll have during that phase, so you have peace of mind and you know everything about the house.
Appraisal fee,
Yes, and then you'll also have an appraisal fee. About how much are those?
$1,200.
So this is going to be a third-party person. We never meet them. Buyer's agent never meets them. They're sent from the bank to come and value the home. That's basically your final green light on. If they say yes, it's comes in at value, you're good to go, meaning the bank's going to loan on it. If it comes in a little higher, that's amazing because
And sometimes you get the fee back.
Correct. Yes, sometimes the lender will even reimburse you on that.
Well, no, you have closing cost credits and whatnot. Or I think some cases the VA loans are reimbursed, so you'll get that money back at closing, which is kind of cool.
Yep, and then your closing costs are anywhere from 2 to 4%. So in this case, another 10 to 20,000. So at this point, we're in about, I'm just gonna go on the higher end of the number. You're looking about $32,000 to $35,000 to purchase a $500,000 home.
Wow.
And this is right out of the gate. That should blow your mind because it's a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money if you
Not
think
for
about
that,
it. No. And then in Washington State, like our state is uniquely positioned to want to help you become a homeowner. The regulations change quite often, but if you haven't owned a home or your spouse or your partner hasn't owned a home in 3 years, you qualify as a first-time home buyer. And they will lend you up to 100% of the loan value. So you could purchase a $500,000 home with no money out of your pocket except for your inspection and your appraisal fee. Their one contingency is you have to have an inspection. So
What is this?
in
The down payment?
the down payment assistance, the home and house key advantage programs. The one, like, this is a great program for first-time buyers to be able to get into homes. And in a market that we're in right now, it works great. But in the market that we came out of 2020, 2021, it was very, very hard to be able to get folks into a home because you had to waive everything under the sun. You couldn't get an inspection. You didn't have a financing contingency. Bob, Sally, Joe down the street brought in $100,000 extra to secure a home. So in that case, you were not positioned as a strong buyer. In the market we've been in right now for the last couple of years, like, you have every chance to be able to get into a home. We're certified to teach those classes. Basically, you get a certificate, you work with a lender who's certified through the program, you're good for up to 1 year. So within that 1 year, you purchase a home. If not, you have to
There's
redo
also- And
it.
there's down payment available from cities, there's down payment
Yeah, you
available
can
from
layer
banks,
it. So,
BDCs.
some people can get up to $100,000 to $150,000 in assistance. Yeah, like the city of Tacoma and the city of Seattle are really, really big on that because they know
In the county, I think Pierce County and King County have their own funds.
exactly.
So check, you wanna check everything, so you can get a lender that's pretty on top of that stuff.
Correct. And you know, if you're somebody that is maybe money savvy and you've got some funds saved up, that's great. Using your own money to purchase your home is perfect. And you can even go to your own local like banker, your credit union,
Yep.
and they can offer first-time home buyer grants as well. And that's just free money that you never have to pay back. Like voila, people are just wanting you to purchase a home. And there's lots of opportunity. You just have to ask the right questions.
Why would you purchase a home versus renting it?
Because the net worth of a average homeowner is $250,000, where the net worth of an average renter is $3,300.
What?
Because, and I hate to be the one to say it, but when you're renting, your mindset is you're just gonna spend all of your extra funds. These days, you're just seeing people with like $1,000 in car payments. That's insane. Everyone's got all the nicest phones, the nicest clothes, the nicest shoes, and you're just like in that mindset and you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck. When you have a tangible asset such as your home, it's a whole different ballgame. Like I remember when we moved into our first house, this was, and I told this story maybe on the last one a little bit, but that was 2009. Everyone was losing their houses. My parents,
Got a good deal.
they did not have careers by any means. My parents are as gritty as they get, they get. Like my mom worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, and the rule in our house the first year was that thermostat was not going up above 67 degrees. And you know why? Because we had an old furnace in our house. It took forever to heat up the house. It would run all night. So my parents were like, no, we're going to save our money. We're going to upgrade the furnace next year. So we have, so it's working better, it's efficient, less money on electrical bills. Well, before we moved in, they switched everything to gas. Like, there was a lot of things my parents did in order to make sure that they were going to be able to afford that house. And if that meant we were eating ramen for one night, 2 nights a week, they would do that. They never did that. My parents worked very, very, very hard. But those were the types of things that they taught me when we moved into the house. Like, sometimes you have to trade, like getting a Starbucks every day for having peace of mind knowing that you're going to sleep in your own home tonight.
I just buy an espresso.
Well, I was like 14 then, so I wasn't really drinking espressos, but that's just kind of what I equate it to, right? And I would say like 20, 30 years ago, the mindset was like, save the 20% to be able to buy your home.
Too, yeah.
And that has drastically changed. And I feel like we need to bring that back, if I'm being honest. Like, people need to have more skin in the game for buying
Things
their
are
home.
more expensive now.
Everything
so,
is expensive. And
Yeah.
while I say that, there's other opportunities, right? Like the down payment assistance, there's grants, and what we do too, and I love to say it, what do I always say, Chris, when we're out shopping with a buyer? It's like my favorite thing to say about a house that's been sitting on the market a little while.
You smell blood in the water.
Yes, and I hate that because when I'm on the other side of it as a listing agent, I don't want that. But as a buyer's agent, oh, you better believe that when we put in that offer, if that house has been sitting on the market for a little while,
She's gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna do what's best for my client. But I do always want it to be like a win-win for everyone. So I'm not gonna like nickel and dime you on everything, but I'm coming in strong, and we're asking you for closing costs, seller concessions, and if we get that, we're taking that to help you pay for your closing costs, to help you pay for like your down payment. Like, one of our clients actually got their earnest money back at the end of the transaction because I was able to get them so much money.
I think I got 6%.
yeah, I got him 6%. We got him a top of the line home warranty. Like, there's different ways to do it, and that's why you have to have a professional on your side.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Chris?
I mean, I don't know.
I just always looked at it as owning your home. You either gonna, do you wanna pay a landlord, or do you wanna pay yourself to be the landlord and build that equity instead of making somebody else wealthy? So
Exactly.
I think that kind of gets lost on the American dream thing. It's about, this is the quickest way to make yourself wealthy. People that bought homes when your parents did, those are now like 2, 3, 4, 5 times what they paid for them. Generational wealth, or to give a place for the kids growing up, because who knows how expensive those houses are going to be. So I think it's a better idea to do it rather than not. People are apprehensive about it, but like Nimrata said, there's lots of programs and things available for you to take advantage of, and this has been a really great time right now, this little window where you can get a fair shake, or you can get things, because it was not like that in COVID in 21. And we're going to go back to that, because we still have a housing shortage, and there's always these little lulls. Those are the times to buy, because then it's going to get superheated again, and who knows how long that takes. I mean, it's been a couple years now, but we were on a run, I'd want to say from like 2017 or something like that. It just kept going higher. So if you're thinking about it, or even just curious to see what you're paying for rent, because if you're spending the money anyway, wouldn't it make more sense to, pay the bank for you to own it? Like, it just makes more sense to me. So take a peek. It doesn't hurt. Talk to us, talk to a lender, and just see what that is. I mean, with these programs, you might actually be saving money every month.
Exactly. And I mean, we're in a market, I would say historically, homes see like a 1 to 2% appreciation across the United States when we're in up markets. But here in the Pacific Northwest, we're so lucky that we see a 4 to 6% increase.
Crazy, yeah.
Like, isn't that insane? That means that your $500,000 home at the end of the year could be worth $520,000. $530,000, and in 5 years, which the typical American now stays in their home 8 to 10 years, you've already made over $100,000 possible dollars if you take care of that asset. And I'm not saying like go and put diamonds on your like toilet seats. No, I just mean basic home maintenance, right? Like clean your gutters, get your roof clean, like get your furnace service. Like if things break, fix them.
Get a home warranty, because it takes care of all of that for like $95 a call.
Yeah.
We just had the radiator replaced in our place. That was $2,600 for free. So, for $95.
Yeah, which like in our mind, no brainer. And for us, whenever we have buyer clients, we're always purchasing you a top of the line home warranty. Like that's our closing gift to you.
But make sure you actually activate it, guys, because
and it's so easy. It's through an app, you guys. You have everything at the touch of your fingertips. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There should be no questions about it.
No, they're great. I never liked them before, but now that I use them religiously, they're great.
Chris is the user and abuser of it.
No.
No,
That's
I'm
what it's
kidding.
for.
It is literally there to give you peace of mind.
I mean, stuff is expensive. You got to replace, something on an appliance, a stove, a refrigerator. I mean, refrigerators are like $2,000 nowadays. That's not even a fancy one. So if something goes wrong, I mean, $95, they'll repair it, and if they can't repair it, they'll replace it with a similar model for $95.
Yeah. Mind-blowing concept. That's hilarious that we both did that at the same time. And Chris and I were part of investment club here at our office. So if anyone is interested in learning about real estate, the different avenues on how to make money, or even get access to the net worth tracker, like you plug in all your numbers and it'll show you what you're worth today. Like that's a scary thing to see in front of you, but how cool is it to be able to look at that and gamify it and come up with a plan and be like, by the end of this year, I want to be like 100,000-aire. I don't know if that's a word, but you know, like I want to be worth at least $100,000 because your car, your phone, your camera, whatever, your clothes, those don't count.
Yeah, not your car.
None of that counts. So what is your net worth today, right? But if you went and you purchased a $200,000 condo, which how insane is it that those even exist right now?
Better get them.
Guess what? You're now worth $200,000. Yes, it's not liquid, but it's an asset. And here in our market, if you're looking at average home prices, you own two, guess what? You're now you're a net worth millionaire. How cool is that to be able to say? And that's my goal. I'm currently reading Think and Grow Rich, and I have like all of these big ideas.
What am I reading?
Like so one of my uncles has been here forever, and he's who sponsored my family and I to move to the States. But I look at him and I'm like, he's the roadmap. He's the goal for me. Like that's who I like to watch because he has been so smart about his assets. He worked at Boeing for a long time, then transferred. He's got a great job, but he's built a life for his wife and his 4 kids that I'm like, that's amazing. My aunt never has to worry about a thing, and he's bought real estate assets over time to where he can leave one property each to each of his kids because he wants them to be set up so they don't have to worry, right? His big concern is go to college, get your degree, get a career. I don't want you to worry about having a home. If something happened to me, every single one of you is always going to be taken care of. And I'm like, what a concept. I love watching him, and I hope he like gets to hear this part of it. Not that I'm going to like say his name or whatever, but like he is doing it right. And I think my parents watching him like have learned a lot too, and so have I, and I think so have a lot of people in the Fijian Indian community. Like he's a very low-key guy, but he's got a lot going on up here. I will say that. Anyway, so I think that's kind of all we have time for today. Next week I hope to have a very special guest, one of my longtime friends here, and we're gonna do kind of like a first-time home buyer myths and facts, speed dating kind of thing, like speed round. I'm definitely gonna throw her off her game because this is gonna be a first time for her, but it'll be really fun, and Chris can be like the moderator or something.
Cool.
And we're always wanting to like share more, so.
Oh, we have our investor thing coming up. Wait,
Oh yeah,
that's
talk
coming
about
up.
it.
I don't know. Isn't it
It's
coming
next
up?
week, on the 11th.
I don't know what the topic is this
This
month.
is his event.
No, it is not.
So he
No,
co-chairs it with our brokerage owner. It's
No.
Investment Club.
It is not my thing.
It's
Our thing, Tori and I's thing, is the tax thing that we're doing with Carolyn Morales. If
Okay.
you guys want to tune in.
Yes.
They can put the link down because everybody needs a CPA. It's tax time. If you haven't started gathering your documents.
We've been doing that this week, and yesterday I thought
was
about
gonna
capital
lose it.
murder.
Yeah, I was
He was losing it. He was losing it, guys.
Dude.
So Investment Club happens the first Thursday of every month in our office, and every month we're going to be going over different types of topics
Well,
on how to get.
This time in the sequence, it's goals and small groups. So basically, we'll get together and talk about either what we've learned already or what we're trying to put into place and try to support one another into getting, moving forward on that. And then the next one is our quarterly
Mixer.
I think we're gonna have a guest speaker this time, and then, just kind of meet and greet with everybody, so.
Yeah, basically it's like.
Just a community of like-minded people trying
Right.
to make some dough.
Exactly, yeah, so like the goal for our brokerage owners is to have, a certain number of millionaires within our world, and I think that that's really amazing, and they created the investment club for us, but also for our clients and our friends, to be able to get in at the ground level and learn from people who are already doing it at very high levels, and give you different avenues and opportunities to maybe start investing or thinking about, you know, how you can get into this world. I mean, real
Last
estate
time
is
was,
one of the most valuable assets, and they
Oh, for
like
sure.
people have said this time and time and time again. You never are gonna have a guaranteed return on Wall Street, but you sure as heck will when your house.
long term. But last time we learned, or we met with, or learned about hard money. So how it works, we had some guest speakers. So, you know, you hear about all these things, but until you actually meet the people that are doing it, what it takes to put the ball in motion, things like that. I mean, I think they said they could close in 48 hours on a property. So that's for all you people wanting to be flippers, all of that type of stuff. Like, I don't know, it was very, very eye-opening on some of the things they were talking about, but you're just not gonna hear that at, you know, at work around the coffee, you know, coffee pot or whatnot. It's, you gotta get into communities like this, other people. I mean, I guess you can watch it on YouTube or whatever, but I think this is a better way to go.
Yeah, I
And it's
mean,
local, you know.
especially for us, like, we're very hyper competitive individuals, and we love
Sure.
being in this type of environment, right? Around people that are doing it at such high levels that
Well,
we're
you'll
like,
learn
dang,
something.
I want to be on
Yeah,
that
you'll
level.
learn something that you might not have thought about. Because if you want to learn about starting an Airbnb, I got all kinds of stuff to say.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be one of our next series.
That you would never even think about.
I can't wait to do that one, because on that one I'm kind of gonna just be sitting quietly, and I'm gonna let him go off people, because he really will. He's got a lot of pain points, a lot of high highs. Like,
It's not.
we've
in
learned
the
a lot.
book. This stuff's not.
We're
in
not
the
even
book.
gonna touch
Not
that.
even
We're
in
not
the
even
book.
scratching the surface on
I should
that
write a
one.
book.
We'll save it for the next one. But please let us know what else you all want to hear about from us.
Or who you like us to introduce you to. Lenders, investors.
Yeah, contractors, like anyone. We really do have a whole arsenal of people.
Oh, we got some people. Hardwood floors. Dimitri.
The best real estate photographer in the game.
Oh, me? Chris?
Other Chris. All right, let's leave it off with
Go Hawks.
Let's go
Sunday.
Hawks. All right, we'll see you all soon. Bye.